how would linking the prosecution and investigation of international crimes and transnational crimes benefit, for example, East Africa?
I just think that fragmenting the prosecution of transnational crimes and international crimes is denying the reality. Because they are always linked. I think there is a study now, is a bit old, I think it's dated from 2009, that was stating that 60% of the internal conflict are linked to issues related to natural resources and therefore traffic. And if you don't take that into consideration, you don't also give a full picture of those crimes. For example, I would just use the example of the blood diamond trade. If you just, you can prosecute just the illegal diamond trade, but you will not speak and will not show correctly the fact that this diamond trade fueled the war. This trade also implies the use of civilians as slaves, and this also trade implies also pillaging of the resources of one country.
Yes, and how do organizations like civil society work together, especially with the government, to ensure accountability? Because we've had an issue where the civil society and the governments are not working together. So how does this affect the efforts of investigating and prosecuting crimes?
Well, sometimes NGO, and most of the time they are the first responder. Like, they are not trained investigator, but usually when something happens, when a war crime happens, they would be the first human rights NGO to meet with the victim and take first sometimes statement or first information. They are the one in the field who can collect also some evidence. So if you don't consider civil society as a source, I think you miss a big part of your investigation opportunity and source.
I wish you could mention some of the perpetrators, for example, the case of Charles Taylor. I mean, would you try to simplify it, how that collaboration worked out?
In Liberia, we are working with a local partner. Amazing, because even between NGO you have to collaborate, and we work with the Global Justice and Research Project based in Liberia. Is a team of investigators. They have the knowledge of the region, the access to the victim, and with them we work on documenting the crimes. And as I told you, based on this interview with victims and witnesses, we identify perpetrators. And when we work on this case, we collect information, and when we think that the case is strong enough, then we will go towards national authorities like the UK for Agnès Taylor case, or the Swiss for the Aliou Kochia case, and from there the national authorities start their own official investigation.
And my next question would be, do the different judicial systems pose a challenge to unifying regional efforts?
I think it's always a challenge when you don't play with the same rules. Like, I think, as I say, there is maybe a system in East Africa that applies civil law system, and then you have the common law system. So it's always a challenge, but it's not a definitive obstacle. You always have common grounds, and you always have common interest. And for example, in Europe we have Europol, Eurojust and Genocide Network, which combine countries with also different systems, but it still is working because there is a need of cooperation, just like, for example, for information sharing. Like, one country is investigating on this particular traffic, and the other country has also information, but if you are not connected, this information cannot circulate. So despite differences, there is always common ground that you can find, and that cooperation is necessary.
Yes, and another question I really wanted to know, we've been having a lot of forums, workshops, symposiums like the one that we have with Wayambo, and training from different countries. Do these sort of gatherings really add any value when we look at the issues of transnational and international crimes?
I think just the title answers it. It's we are speaking about transnational crimes, international crimes. So if we don't gather the different people all together, we cannot start a synergy. And I think this kind of forum, in addition to discussing important matter, create the network, create the connection, and create these synergies that we hope create this so needed cooperation for the prosecution of international and transnational crimes.